Okay, thank you for your presentation. It's really nice. Just you have done some fashion research. What will be trendy in terms of fashion, in terms of styling and clothing. Just the class work was to do the customer behavior. You see, so you explained what will be the customer behavior in terms of fashion. So this is our next task to do, is to create basically the mood board and then explain what will be trendy 2 years ahead. You see, so it will be another task for you to do, but for the moment we are basically forecasting the purchasing behavior based on problems happened during COVID-19. Okay. So it's a little bit different idea. For example, there were a lot of problems with the fashion industry, and a lot of fashion shows were closed, right? Because nobody was coming to see it. So people started, the brands started forecasting the live streaming shows and sending on their websites the videos of the fashion shows. And people have right now new customer behavior. They are not flying to Paris to see the new fashion show. Right now they're just going online. So you see, they have a new customer behavior. Right now they go online to see what's new. If before they were like booking a space and they were receiving invitations from the brands to visit their shows, and they were actually taking a flight and going. Right now it's all digital, it's all online. Okay, so the customer behavior changed first. Secondly, what I also can say about the customer behavior during pandemic, nobody could go out. But like in Russia, for example, everything is open, like restaurants are open, all the workplaces are open, cinemas are open, everything open. So as soon as the lockdown stopped and everything opened, you can't imagine what was the boom for shopping, for restaurants, for everything. People started going everywhere because they were so locked for a long period of time. So the sales of fashion boomed right away. The first month it got opened because people just got tired sitting at home. So the customer behavior changed and they started purchasing even more than they need, just because they missed doing that. You see? So they started buying everything just because they missed shopping experience. So this is what provokes the customer behavior. And by knowing what was the problems before, we can think, okay, what will be the new behavior of the customer in the future? Like after pandemic, they will buy more extravagant clothing, for example, because they sit at home and nobody saw them at all. And now they want to show off their new garments and to show that they are, happy and healthy, for example, or to show off in front of the friends with a new dress, or for example. So you need to think in not just aesthetical way what will change, not just in physical way of clothing, what will change in the mind of people, you see, by behavior in 2022, when they will be purchasing products, how they will purchase. Will they purchase more or less? Will they purchase like smarter or just anything they can find? So this was the idea. So you will need to research how the fashion industry was impacted by COVID-19. So start by searching from the problems which arise, and then think what that problems can influence customers, influence clients to behave. Okay? But that presentation is nice. You can keep it for the next, basically you've done a homework for the next project, basically. Okay, so take your time, and when you will be finished with this research, send it to the group chat and we'll check it together again, okay? Thank you so much for your presentation. It's really, really good research with very good pictures that we see the example of Zara's stores closing, and we see that it's almost empty inside, and like nobody's there around. This is absolutely true. Luxury industry has shrinked, definitely, absolutely, because it was just closed. So we know that offline stores are, in most of the places, are closing in terms of fashion. It became very, very unnecessary for people to purchase fashion during pandemic times, because many people lost jobs, right? And the first thing that they need to buy is basically food and medical like things if they need it. So they were afraid to spend money on beauty items, unnecessary spendings, because if they lost job and if they don't have it tomorrow, then nobody knows if they will have food to eat next month, you see. So of course it didn't happen to everybody, but there were many people who had that issue, or whose job was not easily converted into online format, because, like, for example, software engineers didn't suffer a lot. They just continued working from home, right? They didn't have to go to work. They just continued working from their homes. But other, like shop assistants or cashiers or people from another like type of work, they simply couldn't do the work online. So, and because the stores are closing, of course they have to fire everybody who was working in the store. So yes, the fashion sales decreased incredibly. And about your predictions, environmental friendly materials, absolutely right, because people understand that I mean the earth that we have is just the only one, right? And it's like our home, like our house. If we will not clean it, then we will live among the trash, and nobody wants to live in a dirty place. So I'm glad that people are getting more and more conscious about their choices, and it's becoming really mainstream and really popular trend among people who even don't know much about fashion. But honestly speaking, fashion industry is number 2 most polluting industry in the world after oil and gas. So oil and gas is the most polluting, and second one is fashion. Because maybe you don't know, but producing jeans or cotton t-shirts, it's one of the most polluting sphere in fashion, because like to produce one pair of jeans you need thousands of liters of water, clean water, because it's made of cotton, and cotton, when it grows, it absorbs a lot of water, clean water. You can't just put a dirty one on it, it will die, or you can't put salty water from the sea, it will die. So the drinkable source of water, you have to put thousands of liters on cotton so that it will grow, and from which you can create a cotton fabric, a denim fabric later on. So it's not even the end. When you produce the fabric, then they use very heavy chemicals to dye the fabric into blue color. and they wash it in huge washing machines with the color dyeing system inside. So they put a lot of chemicals in that water, and they have to wash it, and it again requires a lot of water to dye the fabric of denim, to dye the jeans fabric. And after that chemical water they have to throw on the landfills. So this chemical, they are destroying the earth. Basically it goes into the soil, and then it evaporates and it comes to the sky, and then it drains somewhere with the acid rain, you see. So it's really bad for the environment, the jeans that we wear. And it's a pity that most of people still prefer jeans. I try not to buy jeans at all. I try not to use them at all. Only like I have 2 or 3 maximum pairs in my wardrobe, and then it's those ones that I bought like 7 or 6 years ago, and since then I don't buy new jeans because I understand that the impact of them is just crazy, you see. Although it's so popular among people, but the jeans industry, I really wish that it will not be trendy anymore and it will not pollute the environment that hard, because even after dyeing the fabric of jeans, it's not the end. There is another process, you know, when the jeans have the effect that they are worn, and it's not just blue solid jeans, but when you have washed out effect, and most of jeans have that, or you have little scratches and washed like somewhere lighter, somewhere darker, they again put it in the washing machine, a huge one, and they wash it with stones so that it will have the shabby effect as if you wore it for several years. And eventually, when you will calculate the amount of clean water was wasted to create one pair of jeans, you will be shocked. And in Africa, for example, people still don't have clean source of water when we are just using tons and tons of water just to make jeans, you see. So I think it's not logical waste of the source, waste of the natural resources. So more and more people, even not from fashion industry, they start being aware of this impact of fashion, of our fashion choices, because what we choose to buy is what influence the environment in the future, right? Because we think, I'm the only one, I just bought jeans, it's fine, like I'm the only one. And everybody thinks like this, you see? And finally it's like million and million jeans bought, and of course producers think, okay, it's popular, and they produce more and more. This is how it works. So environmental friendly materials, absolutely agree with you. Okay. Recycling, second-hand clothing, yes. A lot of people also, when they lost jobs with pandemic times, not everybody have money right now to go and buy something from the latest trends. A lot of people just started taking some old pieces what they had and redo some parts, go to atelier, adjust several like sleeves, adjust the length or something, and then it looks basically like a new piece of garment. So it's like a patchwork. I mean, why not? People are trying everything to refresh their wardrobe. And yes, the term of slow fashion is also so booming right now that everybody, like the big brands, they encourage people to buy not cheap, but buy good, you see, buy smart. And like this, you invest in one, for example, good jacket with a good material, with natural material. Of course, it will cost much more than a jacket from Zara or from H&M, but you will value this piece of clothing much more if you paid more for it. You see, when you buy a very, very cheap jacket from Zara or from H&M or whatever, you understand it's made of 100% polyester, so it's not breathing, first of all. Second of all, when you will throw it away, it's not biodegradable. So when you will throw it, and if you will burn it, it will directly make the air dirty. If you will just throw it on the field, it will not disappear over 1,000 years, because it's not biodegradable, it's plastic. It's like a plastic bottle, you see? So by making cheap choices, we are destroying the house we are living in, basically. But if you buy more expensive, a little bit more expensive wool jacket or cotton jacket or linen jacket, because it's made originally from natural materials, first of all, when you pay more, you value more, and you will wear it maybe not one season, but let's say 3 or 4 or 5 years at least. Like this, you purchase something not super trendy, but more classical, you know, that will be in trend, in style for a longer period of time. Like this, you will look always actual, always good, and your skin will breathe in something natural, you see? So it's good not only for the environment, but it's good for your skin, for your body as well. So absolutely agree with you. Second, labelhood, brand, virtual show, yes. Animation technology to create visual effect, yes. There is a lot of animation and a lot of interactive things happening among the brands, that they stimulate people to interact with the brand and put them into the new reality, into like animation reality or things like this. So yes, even in Louis Vuitton, if you look at their recent campaigns, they create like animation characters that run around people, and it's like augmented reality things. So yes, I agree with you here. People will buy something online and bring through Star Live broadcasts. Yes, true, because it's like a new type of the online shop. When it's actually recommended by other people to you appreciate it and you listen more carefully than it's just direct ads from brands. When you see the brand telling you something, you understand right away, okay, it's an advertisement and I will not listen to it, you will just scroll. But if it's bloggers or people you follow, and if you follow a certain person, you are interested in their life, you're interested in their philosophy, you're interested what's going on in their lives, what they do, and like, for example, right? And if you see them recommending you something, that already gives you much more trust for the product from the beginning than if you will just see the ads of the same product through the website or through social media, for example. So yes. Number 4. So basically, number 3 and number 4 is the same thing. It's just the difference is that on number 4 it's about through the widget, but the idea is the same. It's same live broadcasting type of advertisement. So it's not considered as 2 different ones. And number 5, people are actively vaccinated. Yes. Yes. But maybe you can talk about that. Okay, if people will be actively vaccinated, how it will influence their customer behavior. That means they will go to stores again, right? If they will have a vaccine, that means they will not be afraid to meet each other, to go out from their homes, to go to physical stores again, right? So it's not just, yes, they will be vaccinated, but what will change in their customer behavior, right? So you can continue that to explain what they will do after this. And for you, you will need to combine number 3 and number 4, because it's the same thing. People will buy something online and bring goods through the live broadcast. And number 4 is the same thing through the WeChat. So you can combine this into one prediction and find one more. Okay. The rest is just great. So good job. Okay, thank you so much, Ruby, for your presentation. It's really interesting. Very, very good research. I like that you provide pictures together with your predictions. So this is amazing. Just you missed the research about what was the problems in the fashion industry. I think you really need to do that so that you will understand deeper what was the cause of the problem, what was the environmental impact of that problems, and what was the impact on the consumer, the problems which happened in fashion industry. Just for the your predictions, first one, digital transformation will accelerate further for sure. For example, yes, the services, they have been strongly impacted. As there you can see on your picture that it's easier to hire a robot, to buy a robot which will be like serving in the restaurant instead of the real people, because robots, they don't get sick, right? They don't spread virus.
Yeah.
So it's more secure for people, and they will feel, for example, I saw a lot of restaurants, they do an open space tables very far from each other. Like this, nobody is contacting and kind of communicating with everybody. They have, if they come with their family, they stay with a very far distance from each other, or they have like a little plastic bubble on top of them, or with a glass or something. So they are in their own space, and like this they feel much more secure. And of course, if we have the possibility to change a human job into a robot job, into an automated job, of course it's much better. It is expensive to purchase a robot like this. They're costing like thousands of dollars, and but for sure it is a good investment into the business. First of all, it's modern. Second of all, like if it's modern, your customer will think, oh wow, this brand is so innovative, you know, and next time they will prefer to come to this place because it's like, wow, a new trend, something cool, rather than just a normal service from people. Second thing is that robots, they don't get sick. Third thing, they can work 24/7. They don't have to have vacations. You see, you don't have to pay medical insurance fees for your employee. You don't have to pay pension fees for your employee. For example, because I have a company both in France and in Russia, I'm planning to hire full-time people, because right now most of people are working part-time. And if I have to hire someone full-time, that means I not just have to pay the salary for them, I also have to pay their medical insurance, I as a company, also their pension fees. And also I have to pay taxes much more because I have employees. So if I don't have official employees, that means I just pay small taxes. If I have official employees, people, I have to pay much more taxes on that. And of course, in terms of business, it's not profitable. But for sure, when the company grows, you have to have employees to make your business work, right? But if you have an opportunity to buy a robot that will replace a human on a certain position, this is amazing. You don't have to pay a lot of taxes. You don't have to pay medical fees and insurance fees. So I think by the time robots will be more accessible, like let's say in 2000s, to have a computer at your home was something very chic and very luxury. Not everybody could have, in 2001, a computer at home. It was a very expensive item. It's like a Rolls Royce right now. Like, wow, if you have a computer, it's wow, Or if you had a phone in 2000s or in 1990s, let's say, it was something, wow, you have wireless phone, who are you, like? So basically these technologies like internet, computer, phone, and communicating wireless, before it will come to like mainstream, before it will be accessible to everybody. First of all, police and military services, they have that technologies before everybody, because every country have their own scientists who keep developing the new science, new technologies. And the first ones who get it is the military of each country. So they are using they were using internet much more before, then it became a mainstream. So of course, first purchasers were the most rich people who could afford to buy it. And you remember computers were like so huge, with a huge screen and very heavy. And now it's getting less. Right now, computers are even in our phone. So the technology develops and the size change and the price change. So right now, to have a computer at home, it's something very normal and very affordable for the price. To have a smartphone is something very normal. Almost everybody have it. And even if you cannot afford the very expensive version, you can still afford good working another brands, which will be much more cheaper, so that everybody can afford it, and still it has all the functions that the luxury brands have. So I'm sure there will be something similar going on with robotic machines, with robots. So right now, to have a robot, it's something extremely cool and expensive, but I think in about 10 years, everyone will have it at home. Everyone, like a personal assistant, you see. Even right now, like the robotic vacuum cleaners is something normal to have. Like, not normal, but it becomes trendy. More and more people I know already have it at home. I'm planning to purchase it for my parents so that they will not have to do it manually, all the time. So it's something that it was 5 years ago, like it was wow, like to have a robot vacuum cleaning your home. Right now, people do it. It's on the market. You can easily buy it. And same thing will be for robots. And I'm sure a lot of workplaces that people do right now, like a cashier in the store, or I don't know, cleaning services or things like this. I'm sure it will be mostly replaced. Like the simple jobs, they will be mostly replaced by robots. And it's also like talking about the far future, when robots will be much more smarter and much more, productive. Eventually, they will replace positions, the humans' positions, right? So this is a good trend for even the educational industries, because simple jobs will not be in trend anymore, because it will be simply replaced, and people will have to go into very, difficult jobs, very technical jobs, which requires a lot of imagination, logical thinking, and creativity thinking. You see, because robots can do a simple task, and they can do it the same way, they can do it very fast, but they can't create new things yet. Okay, so So a human will have to, if he wants to have a job, he will have to go to much more competent industry, much more competent profession. Like, for example, right now, an interpreter, right, translator, a job translator, when they hear one language and translate into the other, or written or oral, I think it will become not popular anymore among people, because Google Translations, even Google Translations right now, I use it a lot. It translates so good. They develop the technology so fast that soon you will not need to hire an interpreter. You can just go into Google, for example, paste your text, and it will translate you to any language you want within a second, like this, instantly. Or there's a lot of voice commands when you speak your language on the voice command, and it translates right away. Or also Google has the option that if you take a picture of something with a foreign text, you just underline where you want to translate, and from the picture it translates. So it works really well, because, like, let's say 5 years ago, Google translations were very bad, and people had a lot of jokes about it. Like, they translate something into foreign language, and when foreigners they're reading this, they start laughing because it sounds like nonsense and nobody can understand anything, right? But right now, even recently, I had a story like this, a very good example of translations. I was doing the contract between my company and a Turkish company of leather bag manufacturer, because I'm launching the production of bags for my brand. And if I want to have an official contract with a factory so that we can have long-term relationships, it has to be done on the local language. So because the factory is on the territory of Turkey, the contract has to be in Turkish. And obviously I don't speak Turkish. So what I did, I wrote the contract in Russian, translated in English, and then I need the third language. I need to translate it in Turkish. And you know what I did? I went to Google. I copied everything, just as simple as that. I copied everything into Turkish. I added into my contract, and just to check that everything is fine, I sent it to my interpreter, to my translator in Turkey. And I said, I translated it, and can you please check if everything is fine? I was expecting that she will laugh and she will say, oh my God, so many mistakes and things like this, but just I tried. I sent it to her to check, and she said, well, it's correct. She corrected 2 or 3 words. There was 10 pages of text. 10 pages, and she corrected just 3 words. She said the rest is perfect. I was shocked. I didn't know the Google translation is that good already, you see? And she said, oh my God, you know Turkish so well. I'm like, oh yes, I am. Like, I learn it every day. Well, I don't have time at all to do that. So I just copied it in Google, instantly copied and sent her, and voila. So right now I understand that maybe in 2 or 3 years, I will not even need to pay the translator anymore, because Google will be that good, because it develops so fast. So you see, just learning the language in the university will not be as popular anymore. Of course, knowing the languages is always super good, but it's good for your own communicational skills. But to earn with this, to be just a translator and interpreter, it's not that popular anymore, because, like, my sister, she's a translator of English and German. She can't find a job in this environment just as a translator. It's not that popular anymore. So she had to have to learn much more things so that she will be able to find a job. You see, so it's something like you need an extra knowledge, extra skills, not just the language skills. So this is the you've got a good point that digital transformation will accelerate much further. Absolutely agree with you. Maybe by 2022 it will not be that strong development. Maybe, but who knows? Who knows? For the point number 2, yes, virtual assistance is really strong. For example, in Russia, we have a relatively new bank, Tinkoff Bank. It's one billionaire decided to open his own bank, and he made it 100% digital, so there is no offices at all. And it is so cool that, I mean, for me, when I opened an account there, I was a bit scared that, oh my God, if they will have a problem, where I will go, for example. But then when I started using it, it is so convenient that you will not have to go physically anywhere, spend your time. You can just, in the app, record your voice and you say, I have this and this problem, and they reply right away, because they have a lot of outsourced people working for them, and they are just working from homes, and they are everywhere. And like this, they save money on the office rents, and like this, they can hire much more people actually working with clients directly. That's why the time that you get the response from a bank is much faster than if you go to a physical office and then you wait a queue until you will get your time to go and talk to a person. So this is really cool thing happening. And yeah, a lot of people use Siri, a lot of people use they ask what will be the weather 1 week ahead and things like this. And many people in 2020, for example, was locked at home alone. It was my case. When I got very unlucky. At that time, I came to Moscow from Paris, because in Paris, I was in Paris at that moment when everything started and lockdowns appeared and people were like, panicking. And I had to take a ticket quickly to go to Moscow. So I arrived and I was all alone at home because my parents, they are not living in Russia anymore. And I spent my birthday all alone at home. It was a very fun experience. Yes, it was so weird, you know, like you have a good mood, you have good occasion, and there's nobody to share the happiness with. So I was just on WhatsApp calls all day, all alone, and it was so, you know, unusual. And there was a lot of funny movies in the funny videos in the internet with funny pictures with like the whole table with plates and cake, and you're sitting alone like with a sad face. Yes, so a lot of lonely people, they are talking with Siri and they're like discussing their problems, and Siri is trying to help them. Yes, so absolutely agree with you. And Siri becomes like your personal pocket assistant that you have in your pocket all the time. If you have internet, yes, it helps you. So yes, I think people will use it much more. Even it was shocking for me. Even my nephews, they use Siri a lot. They are talking with Siri. They cannot type yet. They don't know the language yet. Like my youngest nephew, he is 4 years old, so he cannot write yet, but he can speak. So if my sister, she gives him an iPad to like entertain himself, he's like, okay, hey Siri, like turn on such and such movie for me, like, or such and such cartoon. And Siri is like, what kind of cartoon do you want? And he's like talking with Siri, and he's discussing like, play me cartoon, like, I don't know, Cinderella cartoon. And, okay, I'm doing this, I'm searching it for you. So it is so funny to watch on this. He cannot type yet, but he already knows how to communicate with Siri. My dad is watching on this and he's like, oh my God, I still don't know how to use Siri, and he knows already. So it's really like a technology is integrating into a new generation, you know. So they are born and they already know how to use it, and this is it's like it's already enriched with technologies. So the new generation, it already appears with understanding how it works. So this is also an interesting thing to think about. Globalization will have a strong local character for sure. The same thing with Google translations, for example. And another thing about the Google, Google is a huge company, you know, right? And it bought Facebook bought Instagram, and they're getting more and more bigger. And you know what's interesting, because Instagram, Google, and Facebook, they're free platforms. People don't pay for it, right? But you can question yourself, how do they make money if nobody pays for their service? Have you ever questioned from where they get money?
Maybe they earn money by check each other, click each other.
Clicking, you mean searching for your friends online, or?
Like everyone hosts Instagram, and I check and I click it to see this Instagram, and then they can like advertise, to make some advertise, yeah.
Exactly.
To earn money.
Exactly, you're absolutely right. So because the free platforms, it becomes a mainstream quickly because you don't have to pay for it. So therefore, it's accessible to everybody. And in the social media or internet or whatever we do, every action generates data, big data, right? So data is information. For example, if you log in your Instagram and you like a certain post, it generates data. It generates information. Okay, such account, like, I don't know, 28 years old, female from Russia, at, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the night, she liked a certain post. Which post she liked? Okay, it's such account according to fashion like topic. I don't know, she liked and commented, for example, and they have the data. And when they have the data of everyone who's using this, they know which accounts prefer which styles. So if you're mostly liking fashion related topics, they will be already having a lot of information about you, and they will be sending you only fashion advertisements, you see. Or if you are a guy and you prefer car, to see car brands or to follow car trends on Instagram, then the app will be showing you only ads, advertisements only about cars, according to your preferences. But if you're interested like in yachts and cars, they will be showing you both, you see. So basically, it's also a funny thing that whenever you talk with someone over even voice call or chatting with somebody, and you're discussing particular things. For example, I had like such experience that I was chatting with my friend about a hotel, and she was telling me, oh, this hotel is so good, like it's 5 stars hotel, you have to be there, it's amazing, you will have amazing experience and things like this. I've been there a week ago. I'm like, so she's sharing and she's explaining. I'm like, what's the name of the hotel? And she didn't even send the link, she sent me just the name of the hotel. And you know what? Next day, all day, I had ads about that hotel. Yes.
Yeah,
so they
I
were
had same experience.
You see? So what was it?
Yeah.
What was it?
And I checked with my friends some delicacy, and then I see it in other application.
Yes. So they are constantly checking what we do. They are constantly listening, and they are adjusting the advertisements according to our preferences. So it's not only what we like, what we share, what we look, but also what we type. If we type something in Google search, and if you type it and don't click enter, it's still considered as an action. It's still considered that you typed and not clicked. It's still considered, it's recorded already. So all the actions you do, it is generating huge data. And there was another example. Okay, I was talking in Russian with my friend. So, I mean, Russian is a global, very big language. To Google knows Russian language, so it's fine. There was another example. I have a friend who is who was talking in Tunisian language with his friend, and he was using. So Tunisian is it's a language came from Arab language. It's like localized, and it has several words. Some words which are used only in Tunisia, not in United Arab Emirates. So it's already local language, but they were using slang language. There's a certain slang language for a kitchen. So I don't remember what's the name of it, but it's interesting that they were using that slang for talking about kitchen. And next day, he had ads only about kitchen. And it's funny that this is not even a language, the slang that they used. Okay, so if you type it in Google translation, you will not translate it. You see?
Yeah.
But this is called, when I asked how it happened, he explained that this is something called natural language processing, I think. Let me check. Natural language, yes, it's called natural language. When the artificial intelligence is actually analyzing everything you say, and according to the context of what you say, by artificial intelligence, they analyze what is the word you're talking about. So they can learn while you're talking, and the machine can learn to understand you. You see? So the process, the programming process was analyzing everything you were saying, and they came up to conclusion that you talk about kitchen. And next day, all the ads about kitchen appeared in his social media platforms, on Facebook and Instagram, everywhere. This is really insane and crazy what's going on. And about your point number 4, traditional after-the-fact evaluation will be replaced by scenario-based customer experience evaluation. Absolutely. Also because of this big data, there is, in United States, for example, another example, by big data, because they were analyzing the crimes which were happening in certain cities on certain years, on certain month, on certain day, because they have a lot of data what happened in the past. The machine learning can predict where will be the next crime and what time, and who will be a potential murderer or potential person who will do the crime. So it is insane. They can know 1 year ahead where will be the next crime happening, just by machine learning, by artificial intelligence. So this is crazy. They can predict, by the previous facts, they can predict what will be the next step of a person, or what will be the next place where the crime will happen. This is something that, this is just crazy, but this is so good. If you use it on with a good purpose, then it's really good. So this is something really powerful about big data, because right now with the Google and Facebook and Instagram, with all this data they generate every day, customers generate every day, they predict a lot of things. Basically, this is the same thing which is going on in fashion. The same way they predict what will be in fashion 2 years ahead. They collect the data, and machine learning can predict what was popular in the past, and they can already know what will be popular in the future. So it's not done by humans. Human can just, look at the sky and say, oh, wow, beautiful cloud. Of course, they can have their own ideas, but, everybody can, and the artist, he can have his own inspiration and his own vision. But thinking of something global that everybody will like in general, you see?
Yeah.
Because there is some people who like Picasso, there is some people who like, Vermeer paintings, or some people who like only Michelangelo paintings. And the styles are different because every artist has his own vision, you see? But to create something that most of people will like, this is what needs big data and deep research and deep analysis. So that's why there was data. Data is what is very valuable in these IT companies right now. And there was another example. In early 2000s, there was a company, first dating online company, which appeared on the market, and it became before Facebook. Facebook was not initially a dating company, but it was like just to search for friends and maybe to search for love. This was the idea of Facebook, because they had the status like if you are free, or if you're in relationships, or if you're searching for relationships, and like this people could not directly ask you because guys were shy to ask such things from girls they don't know. But like this, they could be friends and see much more information about each other. But before that, there was another company, unfortunately I don't know the name, and they were only specifically done to be dating online. So they had a lot of clients, a lot of customers, a lot of users, and it was popular because it was the first, and everybody started talking about it, and people started searching for boyfriends, girlfriends over there, and it existed for maybe 4 or 5 years. And then Facebook appeared, and Facebook became much more popular because it was not, only about searching for a partner. It was more about, okay, you search for friends and maybe you will find your love as well. So it was not that shameful to say, I have a profile on Facebook. Because saying, I have a profile on dating app and I'm searching for someone, it's a bit shy to say, right? So people stopped using that app and they started using Facebook. So the app went bankrupt. They lost all their clients, they lost all money, so they were, nobody needed them anymore. And they were very sad about it. And then suddenly one billionaire came and he said, I will buy your company for $5 million. And they were like, okay, sure, we will sell it. Imagine, the company is bankrupt. They don't have customers, they don't have anything. They don't earn money with this, so of course they have to sell it. And then after they sold it, after they signed a contract, they asked, but why you bought us? And why you need our company? And the billionaire, he said, well, I don't need your company, but I need data, which was generated for 5 years in your company. So basically all the data they had of the client base, of their age, of their preferences, of their thoughts, because they were chatting on that platform, right? So they exchanged a lot of information between each other. And there was allocations from where was this clients and what was their age. And they were all young, because people who are trying to find partners, this is mostly young people. And imagine if they purchased the data of young people, they already know their preferences, what they prefer, what is their age, what is their background, what is their like culture and things like this. They already know everything about them. Of these young people, which will grow up, they will become professionals and they will work and earn money. So they are future, successful people, and they already know everything about them. So with this data, actually, this company, if they will be a bit smarter, they could sell it not for $5 million, they could sell it for $1 billion easily, if they just knew the value of that information. But the problem is that they didn't know how to use it. You see?
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do with this data, so they were ready to sell it for any price. They were happy. But after they signed a contract and after they understood the true value of it, they were shocked. You see? So this is the power of big data in our modern era. And your prediction number 5, that consumers will be more attracted to fun than functionality. Yes, for sure. Because with the COVID-19 outbreak in 2020s and 21, we have a lot of stress, right? We had a lot of problems and a lot of, I stopped watching news just because I'm tired watching bad news, because it's always bad news. So yes, it's been a lot of stress for many people, and like my parents, they cannot stop watching news because it's their habit already. And I noticed that before watching news, the mood is nice. After watching news, they're like, life is bad, life is horrible. I'm like, okay, come on, stop watching it and everything will be fine. But it's already a habit, you see. So for sure, people will prefer something much more interactive, much more entertaining, just to stop thinking about problems of the world, and stop thinking and do something much more, which brings them positive emotions. People will value this. Functionality is also very good. I would say I would not compare like positivity or entertainment to functionality, because it's something that we both need, right? If you will, for example, you will be offered to use an iPhone or I don't know, a funny phone which makes, a kid's phone which creates funny sounds with a flower looking like, and having no functionality, I don't think you will use it. You see. So even though it has funny features, it's singing songs and things like this, but if it doesn't have functionality you need, you will not purchase it. But if it's functional and it gives you an entertainment, for example, if let's say you purchase an iPhone and they offer you a subscription to Netflix for 1 year free or 1 month free, you will be so happy, like, okay, I've got a functional thing and they gave me for free to see my favorite series or my favorite movies or entertainment things. Then yes, for sure. So maybe you can say that they will be more attracted to fun things rather than classical. You see? So just if you will change this word to into like rather than classical, will be just perfect prediction research. And to complete it, you will just need to research the problems we had in fashion industry during COVID-19. So it will just give you a better understanding what was the problems the brands were facing, and eventually what it influenced people to do. You see, it will be much more, helpful for you and for the final presentation as well. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for your presentation. It was very, very good research. Okay, thank you for your presentation. It's a very good predictions. Just also you missed the point of researching the fashion problems with the fashion businesses during COVID-19. So here you talk about the reasons, the predictions that you found. It's just they are a little bit. These predictions are more suitable for 2021, for this year. Okay, because this year I think we still will be wearing masks. So of course people will try to make them more decorative, much more fancy looking and things like this. But in 2022, are you sure we will be wearing masks if most of people will get vaccinated? You see? So maybe it will not be already needed in 2022. So maybe you can search for another prediction. Customers may prefer outdoor spaces because it's hard to get out. Yes, sure. Even there is a certain trend on real estate, in the real estate business. If before the city centers were so expensive and suburbs were cheaper, right now the suburbs of the cities increase in price. You know why? Because people are tired living in small apartments when they cannot go out and breathe the fresh air, because not even every apartment has a balcony. And and people, we are we are like born in nature. We have to connect to nature, and it's hard for us to stay far from the sky, from the sun, from the fresh air, and just staying at home. It's really hard for our mental health, first of all, and then to our physical health. So there is a trend in real estate industry that the suburbs of the city get much more expensive. And maybe you heard in the news that New York, for example, has lots of empty houses for the moment in the city center, because people started selling their apartments there, or just leaving their apartments for suburbs where they have nature, where they have rivers, where they have parks, even though it's more far from the place where they work. But right now all the work is online, so it doesn't really matter where from you're working. You can even be on the seaside enjoying the sun and swimming, and in the day you're working, in the evening you're enjoying swimming in the sea, for example. This is what I was doing in our last class. I was on the seaside in Antalya enjoying the class time with you guys, and then in the evening I was visiting swimming in the sea. So it was perfect office environment. And I'm sure a lot of people will not give up this trend, because a lot of people will understand the beauty of working from home, because you can relocate your home to a different place, closer to the sea or closer to the park, and even if it's a lockdown and you have your small garden, you can enjoy your time in your small garden, for example, to make a grill party, or just breathe the fresh air, or do a little jogging, or whatever, even if the whole world is on a lockdown, for example. So I've been talking about this with many of my friends, with many other professors, and everybody say that being able to work from home, it is something really, really cool, and they don't want to give it up, because first of all, they can wake up and they be at their office right away in front of computer. They will not have to spend time going to the workplace, going to office, and then coming back after. Let's say if you're lucky and your office or your work is just 30 minutes drive away, so on the plus the distance on the way back, let's say 1 hour a day is wasted just for the road. Plus you waste money on the gas, on the oil for your machine for your car to drive. or you waste money for taxi, or you waste money for public transport. And if you're late, you will be much more late. If you woke up late, or if you're just late for your work, you'll be much more late eventually when you arrive. Which is hard to say when you are working from home. You don't need to waste your time to prepare yourself and to actually present yourself in the office. So this could be a good behavior trend if people will prefer to stay and work online at home. That means they will purchase online much more than before as well, right? So we can have certain predictions by that. So yes, I absolutely agree with you with point number 2, because people really prefer right now to have any opportunity to go out and be in the nature. Yes. Number 3, some customers who have experienced the epidemic may prefer to shop online for safety reasons. Yes. Number 4, people will be more inclined to environmental friendly clothing. Yes, for sure. And that the big brands already launched the homeware and pajamas and blankets and slippers and so on. Yes, for sure. But this is 2021. It is what happened already, you know. So what will be 2022? Maybe people will get tired of home clothing. Maybe not. Well, for sure, I can say one thing that it's a funny fact to mention. I mean, guys will not understand that, but girls will definitely. Because 2020, most of the girls were at home. And when we go to work, of course, we dress up and we wear a certain element of our underwear. We wear bra, right? But when we're staying at home and nobody really see us, so most of girls stopped wearing bras during 2020 because at home it's just not comfortable and it's not necessary. So right now, when some of people came back to offices, they say that they can't wear it anymore because it's not comfortable anymore, because the whole year they were not using bra. When you're back to use it, you just feel pinching, you feel uncomfortable, you get tired of it because you already lost the habit. It's the same thing as if you lose the habit wearing high heels. If you wear it every day, if you're wearing high heels every day, then you're totally fine. You're very comfortable in that, and you don't complain. You're fine. But if you stop wearing high heels for 1 year and you just wear sneakers and boots and flat shoes, it will be so hard for you to come back to wear high heels, because it will be just pinching everywhere, uncomfortable, making the bites on your shoes. So it will be just a hell. So the same thing is happening for the bra. So I'm sure bra industry will have to change the structure of the bra to be much more comfortable, much more soft, because the old bras, they use the metal inside to keep the shape like this. But that metal, it is, because it's rigid, it's strong, it's really when you wear it several hours, it's really hurting the lungs, the rib cage, and you're not feeling that comfortable as in the beginning of the day. So I was talking about this with many people, and everybody say that they don't wear bra anymore and they forgot, and somebody even throw away all the bras from their wardrobe. This is really something funny, which is definitely influencing the customer behavior. So I think no girls is going to purchase new uncomfortable bras anymore. Maybe they will be doing much more, sporty bra version when it doesn't have the metal rigid structures inside, when it will be just supportive but not painful, you see. So yes, I totally agree with you on your research. Just with the first point with customers and wearing the decorative masks, Yes, but in 2022, I think it will be not that popular anymore because most of people will get vaccinated. Already, the ones who were sick already and they have natural antibodies, for example. So masks will be, I mean, maybe some people will still be wearing this because they will be still scared. But in general, it will not be that much big trend. Or maybe there will be another technological trend which will allow people not to wear it anymore or things like this. So maybe you can search for another reason, another behavior instead of the number one. And you need to do the research of the fashion industry problems during COVID-19. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much for your presentation. It was really interesting. Great presentation. Thank you, Chanel. Yes, I like that you put visual references together with predictions that you made, but try to create it in the, right now you have it vertical format, but try to make horizontal format.
Okay.
Because the final presentation is going to be, like a slideshow like this, and you see it's a horizontal format. So that like this, you will not have to do double work to redo things several times. All next projects, all next researches, try to make it in horizontal. And also try not to put that much text. Or when you have, like a picture and a little text and a picture and a little text, it's fine, but not like pictures, 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 and then text, 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 and then it's like, and you get lost because you have pictures here and text there, you have to read there and look at picture here, so you're like losing attention. Okay? So you also need to do the research. What was the problems during COVID-19 in the fashion industry? Okay.
Okay.
It will give you much more understanding of new customer behavior in 2022, because it's always like a chain. Like a problem happened, it caused a certain consequences, and these consequences caused a reaction among people, so that reaction will bring them to new actions. You see? So it will be helpful for your research. And let's read your predictions. So, number one, the vaccine. Yes, people can return to normal free travels in a normal life. Yes, but still, I'm sure you can understand, even if everybody's vaccinated, everybody is like healthy already and nobody has COVID-19 cases anymore. Still, behavior of people will not be exactly the same as it was before, because this is something that puts an impact on everyone who was born or who was like unconscious in these times, who saw this pandemic happening. So, for example, if you can notice a lot of what is that called? Duty-free shops in airports. They didn't have testers for cosmetic anymore. So because I traveled 7 times during 2020. I mean, everybody was on lockdown, but I had to I had to travel. So I noticed that all the time, all the stores inside were closed in the airports. Everything was closed except several few coffee shops. And they were trying to put automated machines. So like this, people will not go to work there because it's dangerous. So it was like mostly automated shops with water, with coffee, with like snacks. a very few cafes open, but everybody was wearing masks and like masks and plastic covers and like, you know, the whole outfit. And what I can say that the duty-free shops were closed closer to 2021. In 2021, in the airports, we already see opened many shops opened, many but not all, and duty-free was open, but all the cosmetics testers were gone. So if you want a certain product and you have tested it before and you know it's good, then you can purchase. But you cannot open it in the store and test it and check the color or check the smell anymore, because people are afraid to get infected. When somebody tested the lipstick and then he puts it back and then another girl comes and tests it, it can be very dangerous. So me personally, even if they will return this idea of testers to the market back after 2022, I personally will never ever try it on my skin. I would prefer to make a mistake and buy another one rather than testing that, you know, and being afraid that that might lead to a disease or something. So it's already something that makes you think twice before to make a step, before to make an action, even though everybody will be safe and stuff like this, because as we know, diseases, it's not something rigid. They are transforming, they are mutating, and you never know. Right?
Yes.
And the same thing for physical stores of fashion, for example. If before we used to go to a store and we were trying on garments and we were checking, okay, it fits, it doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you put it aside, then you try another thing, and who knows how many times this item was fitted, right? You cannot know, and nobody knows. And right now, when I'm thinking about, okay, because I'm creating a brand and I'm trying to think from inside, what will be a people's reaction when they will go and try on a garment. And me personally, I think that people will be more, you know, they will not want to try on as much as they used to before. So I'm trying to think of the solution that brands or that my company can do after each fitting to somehow to refresh the garment after it was fitted. If it doesn't match a person, then I think it's necessary to do something with this, so that next customer who will decide to try it on will be aware that it's 100% secure. You see? So this is something that, okay, even if everybody's healthy in 2022, still people will not behave exactly the same as they were before COVID-19. I'm sure there will be definitely time before COVID and after. So life will be changed. So yes, for sure, people will be more free. They will come back to free travels, but still some things will change, and it will be good if you will mention what exactly will change. Okay. Point number 2, spring fashion trend. Where resistant sustainable development, including color and color materials, is lasting propositions reference spring and summer. Most big name fashion designers have vibrant shades like bright yellow, so it's all about colors. Choose to use more environmental friendly and sturdy materials while ensuring style. Yes. For the colors, it's more related to fashion trend. This is what you will do as a mood board research, as an example, and you will need to research what will be and predict what will be in fashion in 2022. But it's a little bit another task for you, which you will do later on. So for colors, yes, but why do you think people will buy bright colors more? So you need to, in these tasks, you need to explain more of psychological behavior. You see, not the items they will choose, but why they will choose it. You see, so what changed in their customer behavior in 2022? That they will prefer buying much more fresh colors, and yeah, that will be much more interesting prediction. So not just they will buy this and this and this, okay, but why? You see? This is what I want you to tell me. Okay, number 3. Sales of different brands become more and more common. New variety of show. Live event invites high school students to do dressing competition. Big name designers. New designers add street elements as models and so on. Started with lipstick, perfume, and cost-effective goods using design plus experience plus sales business model to expand market share. I don't really understand what you mean by sales of different brands become more common. What exactly becomes more common? Unfamiliar brands or old brands? What do you mean by different brands? So because people buy different brands always, right? There's no people who buy only Louis Vuitton and nothing else. Right? So what do you mean by sales of different brands?
Maybe easy for people to buy.
You mean that people will buy not only luxury, but they will buy other brands as well?
Yes.
Yes, for sure. It was already the case since, I don't know, at least 5 years. It became popular to mix high fashion with cheap fashion, with like mass market. Even in the Paris Fashion Weeks in the previous years, you can see very interesting looks matched with haute couture Chanel items and Zara pants, or I don't know, H&M simple t-shirt or things like this. So it was a case for many years already to mix and match high and low, if you mean it that way. This is what you were meaning, or you meant something else? It's okay, just tell me what you think. What is your opinion?
I think it's more easy for common people to buy some big brands because they have online still.
Yes, of course. Buying online is easier, but I mean, online stores, big brands, they always had, not always, but they had online stores for a long time before, even before pandemia. So it's not really something very new as well. So maybe you can work more on your point number 3 and explain what exactly you mean. Here you have like the big names designers add stream elements using their own employees as models and so on. Yes, but this is what the brands do, right? It actually became quite popular, so I can agree with you on that point, that it becomes all about inclusion topic. So the big brands, they start popularizing not standard beauty. This is an interesting trend going on right now, that if before on the fashion shows they were selecting only super beautiful models with very high standards, you know, very tall, very skinny, according to certain proportions, and with very perfect skin, with very good hair and things like this. And now the standards of beauty has changed, and they try to invite people with skin imperfections, with skin problems, or with not perfect body size, or not perfect height, and things like this. And even like a mature woman as a model became popular. So silver hair 50-year-old woman can be, or 60 even, or 80, she can be a model as well. You see, so the standards for beauty is changing in our times, and more even ads include models with not standard beauty. So this is interesting thing that is happening, and of course they can use their own employees as models if they think they match their standards, their vision. Yes, so number 3, please try to adjust your prediction to be more specific. What do you actually mean? Okay. A few niche brands, genderless designs will emerge. Yes. Sex-free topics are hot this year, and so expected that neutral color designs that cater to the idea will be popular in the coming year. Yes, I can agree on that, because because people started wearing homeware a lot. They can borrow, if they have oversized, for example, t-shirts, a girl can borrow a t-shirt from her husband, and if he finds a huge pants of black color, and he can wear it, and then he will realize that it's his wife's pants, and still it looks good on him. So things like this, sure. This is like genderless topic for fashion. It will become much more popular, and people will care less about or if it's a female store, or female fashion, or male fashion, and things like this. Yes, absolutely agree with you. Even like I know the case for jeans. Like I have a friend of mine, she always purchase jeans from female or from male fashion, so from men's collections. She say that for her body type, that jeans fits just perfectly, and she feel much more stylish in such jeans. So it becomes, and her friends seeing her looking gorgeous, they also go and buy from male collections. They buy jeans from them. So it becomes much more popular, I think, to switch and exchange clothing with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and even between friends. So why not? It is definitely becoming a new customer behavior, which you couldn't definitely imagine in 1950s. It was impossible. Right now we have that style with especially oversized sportswear where everybody can fit inside, for sure. Prediction number 5. Online shows and more online shopping stores. Yes, definitely. Definitely. And I like that you mentioned Gucci. That have you been on the Gucci website, and have you actually seen the online shopping service they have offered? Have you seen it?
Yes, I offered a picture in mine. specification.
So this one, right? Oh no, which one? Oh, okay, this one. But here we have just the website picture. Okay, let's do a quick research together. I saw it. I've been to their online store in Instagram, but I'm not sure if they have it. I mean, let's check it together. If we can go and let's say it will be Canada. Because they have that they call it Gucci Garden. Let's find it. I don't know if we can actually see it here. So here no, it's just products. Okay, so on the website there is nothing like this. Well, you can book your private appointment. This is interesting. Discover our new exclusive services. Let's see what services they have. Gucci goes further from complimentary shipping and returns one-on-one connections and personal in-store styling sessions. This is interesting. Experience a range of exclusive services created specifically for you. Wow, this is something really cool that if somebody wants to shop in Gucci still in the store, not online, they can book a appointment in the store. That means that they will feel totally secure. Employees will wear masks and gloves and things like this, and they will be alone in the store to enjoy the space and not being afraid to get sick. And that there will be shipping and returns one-on-one connections. So it will be like not a strangely packed package, but like a very personalized, very like it's been delivered to you not by post office, but it was delivered to you by a representative of the brand with a respect, with like a friend came to see you and give you a valuable product. So it will be much more valuable experience. Let's see what else they did. Free premium express shipping. This is interesting because there was what was the stopping factor for people to purchase online, that most of people don't like to pay for shipping for deliveries. So when they see free delivery, it's something that stimulates them to buy. So like this, they understand they pay just the product, but not the costs of shipping. So you see they did free shipping. Free and easy returns, also something that makes you feel secure to purchase items. Because like this, even if you selected a dress with the wrong size and you paid for it and it was delivered, you will not worry with the problems to return it. So this is amazing. And they did new eco packaging. Finally, they also thought about nature, and they jumped into the eco-friendly trend, as we can see. And they can also do complimentary gift wrapping if it's a surprise for a birthday party or wherever. You can have not just standard package, but like a very personalized, specific. For example, you know that your girlfriend, she loves only like turquoise color. You can ask the like personalized package with turquoise color and her name written on it. So that will be a like super experience for her, and she will be super happy. For example, ask a gift expert. Whether it's a gift or personal treat, let our client advisors guide you through all the steps from tailor-made proposals to order and after-sales support. This is also like after-purchase service that brings much more loyalty to the brand, much more trust. So even if you are not sure what to purchase or what match you, what doesn't match you, or how to treat the product, you always talk with the representative like to your friend. And like this, if you have any issues or problems or questions, you're not just looking at the cold website where you have nobody to contact and when you have nobody to answer your question, but like this, you communicate with the brand like with your friend, and you therefore you trust it more and you respect it more, and of course you will come back to purchase again, especially with this after sales support. So here we see the in-store shopping. Okay, what we see happening right now. A store expert on the line, our client advisors will have the pleasure to guide you through the Gucci's newest collections via phone or video chat and advise you during your shopping experience. Imagine you came to a store, right? You have on your phone your sales assistant, so you're not breathing the same air together. You're just touching, checking each item, and he's or she's advising you what is better and what is the price of each item and things like this. So you're feeling like alone in the space, and you're feeling much more, relaxed in such way. A safe home delivery. They will send your Gucci pieces to your preferred address, ensuring the safest delivery possible and respecting all the health measurements required for your safety. Right? You can book a private appointment. A warm welcome in the store. Our stores have put in place necessary health complement measures for your enjoy the safer shopping experience possible. So I guess that is sanitizers and things like this. So the same things. So it's a pity we don't have the Gucci Garden 3D experience on the website, but I think Louis Vuitton also had it. Let's see, because last year I already saw this experience in Louis Vuitton store. Let's see if they still have it. Oh, they have the same thing, virtual in online store appointment. Let's see if that still works. Okay, so if you click on certain store, you can book an appointment. Yeah, but the website has changed and you cannot see the online experience anymore. It's a pity. But I will find that for sure. I will try to find the link because it's so super cool. I've just recently been to the Gucci garden, so I will explain it to you by words because I couldn't find reference. Basically, it's like you click on the website and you go to their online shop. But you go in it like you're playing a game, like you're playing a computer game, and that you actually enter a store, and with your mouse, with your finger, you can look up to the ceiling or to the side or down the floor. You can turn around and you can click, okay, I want to go to that room, and you move into that room. There you also can move around and see what's inside. So you see everything in 3D. You can move around and click, okay, I want to go to that shelf. And then you move to that shelf. Or you can come closer to a window and see what's going on in the street. And this is all like a game. You know, like you are actually in the store. You're feeling like you're in the store in a digital way, but you are physically at home. You see? So like this, you can come to a book, the shelf with bags. You come to it and you click on a certain bag, and then it appears with all descriptions, with all photos in 3D. You can move it around. You can read the description. If you don't like it, you close it and you click on another bag, and it appears in front of you. So it's like it feels like you're actually in the store. You see the environment, you see the interior, you see the lights, the beauty of merchandising of the products on the shelves, on the mannequins, and still you can interact with it digitally and click on it and see the price. You don't need to call people and say, hey, please tell me what is the price for this product or where is the size available. You just click on it and you see everything, all the information you need. So it's something really, really modern which is happening. So I will try to search the link and show you guys next time. So where we stopped, or if you can find and add it into your research, it will be just so cool for everybody to see. If you find a video or if you find a website with that experience, it will be a good example. Okay. Yes, so for sure all your predictions are good. Just for number 3, try to be more specific what exactly you mean. Okay. And again, for the format, try to keep it horizontal and put less text. You know, like it can be five predictions and 1 sentence per each. For example, 1 statement. For example, people will go and buy in the online stores much more than before. Dot. Finished. Next prediction, and things like this. So like this will not read a lot of text. You can speak it if you want to add more information, but on the slide, try to stay more specific. Okay? Thank you for your